Last summer, I found myself at a high school graduation right on the beach in Oceanside near the pier. It was a beautiful ceremony, but I had a little extra time before it started, so I decided to grab a bite. And oh my goodness, what I had was the most amazing crab cakes I have ever eaten. The inside was flaky and moist, the outside perfectly crunchy and full of flavor. I couldn't forget that taste, so I had to return this year to get another round of those unforgettable, delicious crab cakes. So I set off to Oceanside on the Metrolink train for round 2. When I got off the train, everything looked just as I remembered it. The first thing I noticed was the enclosed free parking structure. I had parked there last time. But you will never need to park there when you take the train. But I knew exactly where I was headed. This wasn't my first time eating at this spot, and I knew how close it was to the train station. As I had walked toward the restaurant, I admired the architecture of this charming beach city. Oceanside's buildings have a lot of history, some dating back at least a century. The salty ocean breeze felt fantastic as I strolled toward my destination. This is where I make a left turn, and it takes us straight to the beach. It's not far at all. As we cross over the railroad tracks, I notice how many people are leaving the beach while we are headed the opposite direction. Luckily, the train has already left to head back, so we don't have to worry. At this light, we could cross the street, but instead we walk down to the end and turn right. We don't need to cross the street to get to the beach. We cross here to avoid all the traffic. You can already see how close the ocean is, even though the waves are below street level. And here it is, the High-Low restaurant. Let's see if I can grab a table. It looks pretty busy, but I see a spot open. As I was seated, the server comes over to ask what I'd like to order. Of course, I excitedly ask for crab cakes, but the server just looks at me and says, "We don't serve crab cakes here, and we never did. I've been here for 7 years. I'm puzzled. Yes, you do, I told him. Okay, now he thinks I'm crazy. I couldn't argue with him, but I was sure it was the crab cakes I had last time. So I asked, well, then what's your best dish? He suggested their fish and chips. I thought, no way. I wouldn't have ordered fish and chips last year. Then I sarcastically said, okay, let me try them. I bet these are the best fish chips I will ever have in my whole life. When the fish and chips arrived, I took one look at it and immediately it hit me. It was exactly what I had last year. 2 pieces of battered cod, golden and crispy. I took one bite and heard that satisfying crunch. Yep. It was the best fish and chips I've ever eaten. While they weren't what I came for, I couldn't deny how amazing they were. It turns out, sometimes the things we remember so fondly are more about the experience than the exact dish. Where's your favorite place to eat fish and chips? Drop me a comment below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more. After finishing my meal, I decided to go next door to the famous Top Gun house on my way to the pier. But that's a story for another video, so be sure to come back next week for part 2. I'll tell you about the best dessert I had on the bottom of the pier. Trust me, it's worth it. I'm coming back to Oceanside just for this dessert. See you next time.